This government meeting is brought to you by Eastworks and our local cable subscribers.
This is the Public Safety Building Committee. It's April 29th at 4:37. We'll call the meeting to open. We're on to order. Open time for the public. I see nobody. Next order of business is review minutes, April 8th and 22nd. So let's start with April 8th.
I have an extra copy if somebody needs it.
I do as well here, if anybody needs it. Let me know if anybody has not reviewed April 8th. Otherwise, we'll move on it.
These are pretty sketchy notes. Trying to keep notes of our conversation for the feedback to, I mean, I don't know what we sent back. We could have just used the email we sent back to HKT probably, but whatever. If they're not clear, we can edit them out.
I'll move to approve them as written.
Anybody want to second that?
Second.
Although I just have one question. Under assignments, 545 easels from Charlie.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting.
It seems like Charlie promised five.
I brought 5 easels and I brought 5 easels and Ian borrowed my projector. That's what actually happened. All about the .45.
All right, we're making five easels, sorry, that's a typo.
I can fix that, Chris. I've got it.
Okay,
5 easels
yes,
from
anyway.
Charlie. Ian will borrow Charlie's.
Oh, whatever. Ian has the projector. He ran the projector. He set it up. Give him credit.
I also had our projector too.
Okay.
So do we have to, as amended, is that significant enough to, as corrected? All right, so I move to approve the minutes as corrected.
Anybody want to second that?
Second.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
All right.
And I'll abstain.
I'll abstain as well as I was not here for that. So then we'll move forward to the minutes for approving minutes of April 22nd.
Motion to approve as submitted.
Anybody want to second that?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I'll abstain.
All right, next order of business is land negotiation update. Chris and Scott, do we have anything?
Not as of yet.
Okay.
May I ask a question about that? Are we hoping to have on the warrant, are we hoping to have a price on the warrant?
There would have to be, yeah, it wouldn't be in the article, but it would be in the motion.
Okay.
I looked at the warrant. It's not there now, right?
Right,
Yeah.
right. So but I have to do the motions in the summary, so once that's ready.
Review a brochure to determine mailing date. The review was, I just received some further information about 2:45 this afternoon on that, and I didn't get an opportunity to respond to Becky Nimmons, so I'll respond to her tomorrow. So there really isn't anything more on that brochure other than what I have to respond to. It was about placement of a photo, but I didn't, she sent the email late and I didn't get a chance to respond to her. By then we wouldn't have had it for this meeting regardless, so.
Did they make any of the changes we talked about?
Yes, yep, that was the one thing that she had a question about. And the next,
And sorry, what was the one question?
it was about the placement of a photo.
Oh, okay.
And next is discuss public engagement strategies. Well, the brochure, can't discuss that because we're waiting on that. Meetings with the, we're gonna talk about tours of the police department and fire department, so. What do we, let's set a date of when we want to do that, and Chief and I will do that, make that happen. So when does the committee believe that the best time to start that is? Whether it's next week, this week, or in 3 weeks, let's discuss a time so we can just have it done.
After town meeting, I
After
would
town
say.
meeting.
So as not to confuse the issue?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think?
Okay, so,
So before summer break, I think.
Summer break?
Summer break for the schools.
Before
before,
that, you said?
so we want to go, let's just say, we'll set a date for May 20th, we'll start? All right,
Okay.
Chief and I will work on that. Does that sound good for everybody?
What's the idea? Have you developed some idea about time and what kind of refreshments you're gonna offer?
I saw John Sheehan said you gotta have food.
There's not gonna be donuts at the PD. I
Gotta have donuts.
What will be the strategy to get people to come? There should be a little, maybe we can work on
Well,
that.
we just put it on the town page and the fire department Facebook page. So I'm working on,
The 20th is a Monday, right?
The 20th is a month. I'm actually, now that I look at that, I'll have to have,
So-
I won't be able to give the tours. I'm gonna be gone for a good portion of that week.
So spring to Southampton is that weekend, 18 and 19.
is what?
Spring into Southampton, when the book sale is at the library, the church is doing something,
Mhm.
the
Oh,
Mother's Club plant sale down at, or Women's Club plant sale down at Cornwall Park.
I won't be here for the tours,
It feels like
but I can have tours
that's
coordinated.
when people are gonna be out and about
Mhm.
around town. I would think we would
That's
want
May
it.
20th is the Saturday.
No.
May 20th is Monday.
It's Monday, isn't it?
Oh,
What
sorry.
year are you looking at?
Wrong.
So I think spring into Southampton is that weekend of the 18th.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Most of the activity is Saturday, I think, right, Cindy? Is it?
yeah.
Is there anything on
That's-
Sunday? I don't know.
I don't believe there is anything on Sunday now.
So we might, I don't know.
it seems to make some sense. I would think we should have, if you're willing to have a tour of the opportunity more than one
Oh, sure.
time.
Mhm.
That seems like one.
I think we can also set up appointments too, because if we have it for a designated time frame, people might not be able to make that time. We can actually set up time frames throughout the day as well. No, I'm not just talking about this weekend, but we can have, say, for the police department, it could be every Monday and Wednesday at 4 o'clock or 6:30, something along those lines where people can schedule to come in. And you just give them tours.
Chris, did you say you were gonna add to the website that people could make appointments to, at the end of the film maybe, or did you make an offer to get word out that people could come see for themselves?
I thought I did, but I'm looking at it right now. I don't see it. Okay. Yeah, we can add that in for sure. I thought I did that.
Any thoughts on Old Homestead?
So,
That's in August, right?
Yep,
yeah.
it's the first Saturday. No, not the first.
So just
August
back on that,
10th.
both, I think either Ian or Chris or both of you get that, have the email for the Public Safety Building Committee at townofsouthampton.org. Do you monitor that at all? Because that would be where anybody should write into you with any questions or whatever. And if it's not active yet, we need to work with Scott to get it active, because as the few, I'm going to try and work on the third quiz still, but there are people that at the end of the quiz put in their email saying we want to be kept informed. And I have no place to put that list of people. So I wouldn't want to send anybody who wants information about the committee and what we're doing from a personal email. I'd rather send it from the Public Safety Building Committee at Town of Southampton email. So I'm not sure which one of you has the access to it, but the chairs of the committee have the access. And we may have to reset your password
I'm
or
not
something. I
aware
don't know.
that I do.
I don't know, Chris, to be honest with you, if I do or
Yeah.
not.
If you haven't been using it, then we probably just need to make it
Yeah.
more active and get your password reset, maybe, if that's what we need to do, or something. Because that would be, if anybody wanted to write in with questions, we're telling them to go to the,
So so if they write into questions, where does the,
it's an email that would come, public safety.
To me, it'll come to my email, my work email.
Whoever has access to it.
No, you gotta log into it. It doesn't come to you.
Oh, you have to log into it?
Well, yeah,
Okay,
we talked about
okay.
whether that can come into people's personal emails, that was the other thing we were going to talk about. but that's a separate issue. So yeah, you have a password, you have to log into it. So from once or twice a week to check that email box to see
Okay.
if there's anything there.
All right. I don't believe if I have access, I'm not aware of it.
Yeah.
Or maybe I was, but
I can resend everything
Okay.
if you want.
yeah, that'd be great.
Okay, so we wanted to put in something here about tours coming up. Is that what you want to do?
You mean at the end of the film?
Yeah.
Well, I just thought that I had made the suggestion at a previous meeting that people who watched the film should be made known to them that they could see the facilities themselves if they chose to do so. And I think we talked about that, and
Yeah, and I thought I wrote something, and I'm just not seeing it.
There was discussion about it, but did you mean to actually have the video altered, to have it say that at the end of the video?
well, I wondered before we finalized it but then when it was finalized, when Jackson was given the go-ahead on, or the ending of it, then I thought maybe Chris, I think it was at last meeting, said she'd put something on the website saying that that was possible.
I can do that right under the video, and just put a blurb in there. I can just do that right.
And maybe Chris asked them to reach out to the chiefs to actually, they can schedule a tour, and, you know, so they can actually call us and say, I'd like to have a tour of the police, whatever department it may be, and then we can coordinate tours, you know, with them individually.
And if you have set tours, then you can try to guide them to those times too, so that you're not flooded
Right.
with random times.
But I do like a couple of the ideas that just came up. One was to at least post the availability for that Saturday, spring to the Southampton. There'll be a lot of people milling around. If your stations can be open, if you're not available, can somebody else
I
be
can coordinate
available?
it, I can coordinate that to
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah.
And have that happen, and sign out in front, and, you know, something to welcome people. And the second thing is what you just said about have something established on a regular basis, like you mentioned something like a Wednesday night or whatever you said. If that could be established and posted on the website and somehow also on Facebook.
Yeah, we could have regular scheduled ones, but, you know, by appointment. So we make sure somebody's there instead of just, you know, having it on a Wednesday at 4 o'clock and nobody shows up.
Well,
you know.
it seems to me you have, is it Thursday afternoons you have training sessions, or is that you don't need to be interrupted?
Yeah, Thursday night
for?
we have training.
Is
yeah.
that a bad time to have people just want to look?
Right, because we're
Because you're
supposed to be
training.
doing training,
Yeah,
so.
okay.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with set times, just, you know, just to know, I would like to know when people are actually going to be coming to those times ahead of
Yeah.
time.
Right.
Because we can also just have it, it could be very simple and just, if somehow we post it, that communicate with us and we'll arrange a time that's convenient for them as well.
Right.
I mean, I just, you know, I think Rich's got a point where, you know, if we open up our building for 2 hours and nobody shows, you know, that's not a waste, that's some wasted time.
Okay.
So you want to put it by appointment?
Right, by appointment, and then I think for the tour, the spring into Southampton, I think we could have set hours for that, where people could just go to it.
That'd be great.
What are the hours that you guys recommend?
Well, my understanding is that most of the stuff is going to happen in the morning. And it starts as early, I know the plant sale down here, people show up at early, like 9. And I think it's pretty much over by noon or so, at least that's been my experience. There's
Yeah, I don't know, I think they do a little bit of a flea market down on Clark Street, do they?
Yeah, they do.
Extend a little bit into the afternoon.
The book sale is, there's 2 times for the book sale. One is Friday evening, that's when members show up and get kind of like first look at the book sale, but then otherwise it's only in the morning, and in the afternoon they're taking it down. pretty much.
What about 9 to 12 then?
Yeah, I think just a half day, Chris, actually. Double check that, but
So if we were to have it from, let's say, 10 to 12? We'll open
I
our
think-
doors at 10 to 12, and that's how we'll advertise it?
I think if you did it that way, that would be smart, 10 to
Yeah.
12. And,
And then the others will be by appointment?
yeah. And of course, there's people that come to all of these events that aren't even Southampton residents. So I don't know if that matters, if you can sort of vet them and say, come, are you really a Southampton resident? Or not.
We're doing tours right now. We have the ride-along program. We're actually been doing tours with certain, people that want to get involved with the ride-alongs, but they're, I think there's only been about 5 so
Okay.
far. but-
Yeah.
All right.
So
Now,
that's May 18th,
Yes,
10 to 12. Okay.
yeah.
I'm thinking of our beautiful signboards. Do you think we can put those?
Yeah, that's where we need
up,
to figure out where to put those.
For Spring into Southampton weekend at one of the stations or in some public place where they'll be seen?
Sure.
Yeah.
We have a, we have a tent, that we can post a tent, and we can have them inside the tent as well, if we wanted to do that, we have.
Well, the signboards include the Mother's Club sign on the corner, which we're all getting quite expert at. I understand you did it, and you did it, and Chris and I did it the other day.
You're referring to the informational signboards from the
HKT signboards.
Oh,
from the
those
forum.
signboards, oh, I'm
Yeah.
so sorry.
But no, yeah, I'm talking about our 5 signboards that HKT prepared, but there are these 2 signboards that could be used to our advantage perhaps as well.
Would somebody think we should approach the moderator of town meeting to have them out in the entryway of Norris? I know he has to get permission
Well, I was,
for May 7th.
yeah, I didn't, that was going to be a later question.
I don't think so, because we aren't,
Yeah, we don't love it.
we're
We're not voting on it.
voting on it, it's the public.
Well, I know, but it's the public walking in, getting like a free look at the sign,
I'd probably have to be out in the lobby of.
yeah, at the lobby, yeah.
Well, I wondered if it would be confusing.
You
Yeah.
would? Okay.
Vote for the land and complicate it.
Okay, fair enough. Good point.
It did cross my mind as well that that would be a great place to have a lot of people see it, but then I thought that we don't want to complicate,
You could also
confuse
have
people.
a flyer that just say, view the 2 police and fire departments on these dates and just have that available at town meeting, or was that considered complicating for town meeting? Because I just know we're going to get more people at town meeting. That might not. I'm looking for every opportunity to get the word out.
I think we've agreed, though, we have to be pretty careful to kind of slip past annual before we
Okay.
dive into our project.
All right, so as of now, May 18th, we'll have set times on Saturday, May 18th, 10 to 12. And we can advertise that through our social media as well as through the town's website.
Now, do we advertise that right away or wait till after May 7th?
I'm putting it up on the website right now. I say advertise it now.
We could,
Okay.
although sometimes it's so early that, if you don't, you'll have to repost it then probably,
Yeah. Right.
a couple times.
Yeah.
But if people are gonna come here to look at the video, they're gonna
Mhm.
see this, so they'll,
Right.
in mind anyways.
Okay. So we
Yeah,
can-
would you keep updating it?
Yeah,
That
we
would
could do
work,
that.
to start making it known and then update it.
So I'm gonna say guiding tours of the police and fire station available, May 18th, 2024, 10 to 12.
And by appointment?
And by appointment with the chiefs, and give your emails.
Yes.
That's good.
Okay. All right, so as far as police department tours go, and fire department tours, anything else we want to discuss on public engagement strategies? I think
Well,
it's really-
once we get through town meeting, because that's a big, big hoop to get through that and get that voted. I brought this up quite a few months ago before we had another town administrator, and that was, we cannot personally push that we want this built, because that's coercion or whatever it is. It's, we don't, as a committee, want to do that. But I think that if there was any chance for a citizens committee to be supportive to the next step, which was getting it built. And I just wonder if there are citizens that are coming forward that have been so clearly supportive of the idea of a new a new public safety building, if there can be the development of a citizen committee, whatever we want to call it. It can't come from us. I just don't know how it can be moved forward.
Like the friends of the building?
Exactly. Friends is not really the right word, because friends implies a 501c3 organization. That's, you know, that's what Ed always said to me anyway, that it has to be, you know, a friends committee.
That doesn't make it right just because I disagree with it.
Well, okay. So, but something that could be you know, a group of citizens that can't be us, but that have expressed interest in seeing this happen, that can, over time, maybe even get up lawn signs or whatever they feel they need to do to say, we need this.
And I had wondered about some of the people who spoke up at the forum, whether they could be approached, and Mr. Sheehan was certainly very supportive. And then there was there were two people whom I didn't know. One was the young man who questioned square footage from Lee.
For Lee.
Does anyone, he had kind of auburn beard and hair, do you know?
Do you remember
Finance.
that?
Doug? Yeah, Doug Hamel, finance.
Yep.
Yep.
Finance.
Oh,
committee.
that was, oh,
Done the finance committee,
oh,
if that's who you're talking about.
well, I don't know.
It is, yeah. That's
He stood up and asked questions
Yeah.
at the end there.
Yes.
Yes, which were, so I just, and he was, he wanted information. I didn't know about him. And then there was another man, and I don't know whether, I think he said he was new to town, and, let's see, what was,
Huntley. That was Huntley.
Yeah.
no, I know David Huntley,
Okay.
right.
Oh.
But no, he was a bit older, I think, than David. or
Was that
Huntley.
Bruce Bowman, possibly? No.
Uh,
I have to look at the video again.
I have-
I don't remember.
Yeah, I
Okay,
guess that
again.
would be the thing to do. But anyway, I wondered if, certainly there were some supportive voices there.
What about Rainey? She stood up, and she was formerly a member of this committee and no longer is. I don't know if she is separated enough to be able to be approached to see if she can be involved in supporting a citizens group. I can ask her.
I do think it's a good idea for the reason, to get lawn signs out. I think it would be good. And to just get people talking about it,
Yeah,
passing word around.
The comment I got was, wow, it's too bad there weren't more people at the forum. And I
Yeah.
guess you only had a small handful at
Probably
the
about
senior
40.
center.
Yes, yeah, senior center maybe. What, maybe-
I heard there were only 10 there, and
10,
a couple of
so-
them were the committee members like you.
Yeah.
So, you know, and I know some of the people that showed up at both are the usual faces, the ones that are involved in town stuff already.
I see the same characters all the time.
Yeah,
Well, we did talk about that last meeting, on how it is that we're going to start to get people really interested
yeah.
in
The
this
brochure
project.
will help a lot,
Yeah.
but we can't, that's, you know.
Well, you seem to know people. Could I delegate?
I would have sent out, I'm sorry I wasn't around, I would have sent out
Would you-
100 emails. I seriously would have, and I told you that.
No, would you try to set up a
Citizens
A group?
group, I can't, can I? I don't know if there's.
well, no, you said you'd reach out to Rini or somebody.
Well, I
people
can
you
do
knew.
that, yeah,
Meaning reach out.
to ask people. I'm looking for an opinion on that. Can I do that as a member of the
Looking at
committee?
it right now, so what you're talking about is a municipal ballot question committee. So a ballot question committee is defined as a political committee which receives or expends money or other things of value for the purpose of favoring or opposing adoption or rejection of a specific question or questions submitted to the voters.
Yeah.
So like lawn
sounds good.
signs and stuff like
Yeah.
that. Yeah. So that would be a municipal ballot question committee. And
Does it give an opinion on who can create one of those committees or who cannot?
a public employee may not serve as the treasurer of any political committee.
I'm not an attorney, but I think she can do this.
I think it looks like you would be okay to serve on the committee.
Well, I don't want to serve on it, I want to help form it.
Form it, yeah.
You think so, Scott?
It looks like it.
Curiosity question. Town meeting approves the purchase of the land.
Yeah.
Now we go to town
Well,
vote. Is that going to be a special town vote, or are we?
Can I just hold that question? I don't want to digress. If this is about, let's keep it on public engagement strategies. Charlie, just hold that question.
I understand that, but if we're going to be going to vote, we may be using that opportunity to get public engagement.
Referring to this committee that we're, okay.
I'm confused.
If we're bringing people in to vote on the land purchase,
Yeah.
should we not piggyback some of this for the building itself as an example of why we're purchasing the land?
I don't think the committee's necessarily charged with pushing for the land. Obviously, it's,
It's like the chicken and the egg.
yeah, I think,
All right.
I don't know how we,
But I think we're going to speak in favor of it at town meeting.
sure, right,
On our
right, yes,
behalf.
exactly. But I don't know if that exceeds our charge to,
Complicate things. It's kind of separate, and we're just
Yeah.
for the building.
right. I think, as far as expending monies towards it, I think we wouldn't be doing that. We'd just be speaking on behalf.
No, we just be speaking.
Right.
All right.
I mean, if the question ever comes up, there's nothing wrong with full disclosure. Yes, the public safety building is part of the equation, we hope.
Right.
But I'm not sure I would put that front and center, really.
Mhm. So, yes, I think at the town meeting, we would want to speak about how this land is favorable for a location for a public safety building committee, as well as other things, but,
Somebody's going to stand up and ask the question, and hope,
yes.
so that you can answer it. I will say, one person commented to me, who attended the forum, tremendous surprise that the town was looking to purchase the entire 53 acres. That hadn't become clear to anybody, at least certainly wasn't clear in the beginning of the forum. It did come out a little bit later, and that was a big surprise to this individual, that was going to be on the ballot. And what was the
Well,
impact?
it's been so, I mean, we've had no clear path.
That's true, yeah.
And it wasn't even clear at that evening. We still don't really know exactly where things
That's
stand.
true,
So
yeah.
you can't make any affirmative statements with nothing. Yeah.
I agree, yeah.
It made it tough, I think it made it tough for us to have things so up in the air about the land still.
And it's, am I right, you already said it, it's still up in the air, correct? The final negotiation's still up in the air, yeah. Okay.
All right.
So as far as setting up a municipal ballot committee, that's a good word, I can happily approach a few people that have spoken to me in the past about how important it is to have this pass, Total shock about the price tag, potential price tag, as we understand it, but I think we should at least start seeing if somebody will come forward to become the chair of such a committee and create a committee, and
Okay.
if I can be a part of it, I'll be a part of it.
Right.
And
Sounds
you'll be a
great.
part of it too.
Well, don't you think, would the committee agree that Mr. Sheehan was, given that he was speaking about the extra expenditure of making it a green?
I think he
building?
could be a part of it, and John is a fabulous coordinator and but
I don't know him.
I know him very well, and I have to say that I do think he's keeping a few things up in the air personally that I know about, so I don't want to put pressure on him. So there's others that might also become a part of it.
Okay.
All
All right.
Some names here.
Any more strategies that we want to discuss?
Eventually, again, after the meeting, after the annual town meeting, newspaper articles.
So you probably know that Jim Palermo writes for the Gazette all the time as a citizen, what do they call them?
Letters to the editor.
Letters to the editor, or a citizen opinion. You see them published, if you read the Gazette, he often writes. He's an absolutely fantastic writer. I don't know where he'd stand on this, but if he would write something, I hopefully in favor of the whole thing.
I think it's also important to reach out to,
The reporter.
our local reporter
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised that the local reporter didn't even bother to contact us about the forum, or they didn't seem to know about, or they have not contacted us about town meeting.
Well,
Okay.
I'll bring that up in other business.
So you're saying that that's after the town meeting? Reach out to the Gazette or in the reminder?
Yeah, we don't want to
Yeah, okay.
confuse.
All right.
After town meeting, okay.
Okay. Any more?
So I'm going to ask the chair of the select board a question. During open time for the public at various select board meetings, might anyone want to stand up and just remind people that this is happening after town meeting, and, please look at the town website, please can that be noted? Because people do watch the select board
What's happening
meeting.
after town meeting?
We're going to need people to be engaged, to read, to look at the Public Safety Building Committee website presence, to maybe look at the forum on the website. Is that a good time during open time for the public?
Commission, we've been sort of monitoring the views. We've had pretty good number of views on the video, actually.
That's
People
good.
are finding it. Thanks to you guys linking it also with your Facebook page back to the website, so
Yeah.
people are finding
And
it.
I think you've acknowledged at the select board meetings quite a few times.
Keep trying to direct people to go to the website. But
Good,
yeah.
okay.
Well, doesn't the Public Safety Committee have regular updates to the select board anyway?
Those are only once or
committee
twice a
meeting,
year, right?
Yeah, it's once a year that you guys
Yeah.
come before us.
But you as perhaps as the liaison from the select board to this committee, do you give your report at that time? When you give your reports?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so you make it known it's so.
Okay. By the way, I looked, and as far as the forum goes, I think it's had 139 views on East Hampton Media. When I watched it the other day.
Our website.
That's Scott watching it every day.
Scott watches it every day.
Click every 5 minutes.
Whoa. Well, thanks. An engaged town administrator. That's a wonderful thing.
Okay. Anything more? All
I'm going to
right.
think of something else.
No, let's move on to tax 7.
Okay.
So, Cindy,
What?
I know you had that.
I didn't.
You're away.
Did you work on
Anything
it?
more on tax 7?
Not me.
Do we want to add Lee?
It's 2 weeks ago. 404 views on the video.
Is that right? Up to 404?
It's on our town website.
Hallelujah. Well, that's more than when Scott and I started looking at it. Okay.
I think that's a good point, adding Lee in particular with what, I mean, can we incorporate what is, well, right, because Lee, one of the questions at the forum was, what was the square footage of Lee?
I saw
And
that.
I believe it's 10,000 square feet more than Southampton's.
More than?
Yes.
But you could, if one of you could reach out, or both of you, to the department heads and get all these questions
Yeah.
answered, it might be quite enlightening for us. It seems like a good addition since they are so close to our population and the timing is so similar.
How does everybody feel about that, adding Lee to the task 7? I think that's a good idea. All right, we can do that. What's the time frame on this? When does this need to get submitted? Because this has to
For
get
their
submitted.
final report, so
Final, yes.
however soon they're getting ready for their final report, I don't know where they are, and we must have maybe a month to go,
Okay.
I don't know.
Do we need to meet with them again? Do you
Probably,
think?
I
I would think
suppose.
so.
I think we should.
So the last draft that I have is March 27th. There hasn't been any updates except for this discussion today since then, right? When we had, is that March?
25th?
Well, I had one March 27th. But maybe I didn't send it out, I'm sorry. It still had Southampton 2024, Southampton in the future, Granby, and Hadley. Is that what it says on the one you just looked at?
Say that again? Where are you looking?
Okay, I think we had some updates since
We
then.
did,
But
since
I'm
then,
sorry
okay.
to say I didn't print this and I don't have access to these, to the town printer.
Okay, so Chief and I will reach out to Lee. We'll get that added. Can you send at least that one out to me so
Yep.
we can update, we can
Sure,
backfill everything?
yeah. Just, Mhm.
A lot of that information may be on the feasibility study.
Yeah, it will be. You know,
Well-
some of them will ask about, you know,
Yeah.
I will reach out to the chiefs as well because that's how many cruisers they have and so forth,
Okay.
and personnel.
Yeah, this has definitely been updated. This includes what I need from HKT, which includes their proposed square footage for the fitness area, for the training area, for the public meetings rooms, and any information about dedicated evidence storage, narcotics, firearms, large items, refrigeration. Okay, so I'll send this to you,
Mhm.
and there's nothing else I think those are the major differences
Okay.
in the two.
All right. And I'll reach out to, we'll reach out to the chiefs. Chief, you okay for this week, reaching out to Lee? I'll reach out to the PD,
Yeah.
and I'll look up some stuff on the feasibility
I
study
don't know
as
if
well.
they'll accept my email, but
And, all right, then we'll take care of that,
Okay.
and we'll try to finalize that, and I'll also reach out to HKT to see if they can give us some of that information on the future estimates.
Super.
All right. Anything more on task 7?
One thing that, as you reach out to HKT, you could inquire when they need our
Yes, yeah.
submission.
What will happen to the feasibility study once it's finalized? Is it going to be available on the website? Will it be hard copies available for people to look at? Will it be presented someplace? What?
I imagine it's going to be on the website. I don't think there'll be hard copies necessarily. That's a lot of pages.
Well, maybe one or two
Yeah.
for people that don't look easily on websites.
Where would they find them?
Library.
One in the clerk's office, one.
Senior center?
Senior center, yeah. Maybe 2 to 3 copies, hard copies. Some people choose not to look on websites.
Okay.
Is that considered a part of their cost to print that? Because it's expensive to print.
Well, I would think that they would provide us with
Some hard
a
copies.
few
Okay.
hard copies.
I'll ask them when I reach out to them.
They did with their proposals, you remember
good.
that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Good. Asking for a few more, as long as you're asking. You know, seriously, in case somebody takes it away or something.
This probably shouldn't be loaned out.
All right. Other business.
I had a couple of things. I don't mean to jump in. I'm always talking first.
Go ahead.
Anybody else? Well, first of all, I think it's in order now. Am I right to say that we have a new permanent fire chief? And I don't know that everybody knows it, but that's very great.
Yeah, nobody knows.
I didn't know that. Is that the SARS? Yay.
Congratulations.
Well,
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
we're pleased about that.
So, nothing signed, but it's
Oh.
pretty much official, yeah.
Certainly put the word out, right?
So, yeah, there'll be a badge pinning ceremony coming up May, I think it's May 15th. It's Wednesday.
Great.
Yeah, 4 o'clock.
is that a public meeting? Can we all show up and eat a cookie? Congratulate
Any
you? Eat a cookie? Is there a, you know?
I don't know about the snacks. But
That's really good news.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thumbs up.
so,
And then the only other thing I was going to ask, I didn't want to bring it up while we were doing public engagement, and it may not even really be appropriate, but is somebody going to contact the Gazette about the parcel, the College Highway property? It was in the paper in the past. And
What do you mean?
Well, I just think that prior to town meeting, it would be good to have a newspaper article regarding College Highway. To get people to know about it. We got to get support for that too.
Maybe
Yeah, there'd be
local
time.
television
You
would
can
be
get better.
better.
Yeah, we know the reporter, we can do that. Okay. May not meet till Thursday. Yeah, we can do that.
It's all my other business.
Anybody else?
I'm gonna work on another quiz for what it's worth. But other than that,
Great. The last one was a bit hard.
yeah, I know. a little
Some of the
historical, I
questions were
think.
arcane.
I know. Both chiefs have given me some information here, so.
Yeah, although it was a lot of history
Yeah,
based.
it is, yeah. But that's good.
Well, I'm just going to add one thing, and that's that I had a lot of people tell me they thought that forum was really excellent, and I'm so sorry to have missed it, but I watched it and I thought it was good. I thought it was great.
Me too.
Yeah.
I think both presentations, both the film and HKT were excellent.
And your master of ceremony job. too.
right.
Oh, you were superb.
Yeah.
Thanks. And you were too.
No. Christina took care of everything.
No, I think we had some good questions too.
Yeah.
People-
We did,
Yeah.
and yeah.
There
I
wasn't-
think by the fact that the questions were generally supportive was indicative that.
And no question about the prefab metal building, i.e.
Not a
Butler
one.
building. Butler building.
Not a one.
But we have been invited to
Yeah.
West Hampton, so
Yeah.
maybe not at this meeting, but, oh, and I think in June, there's an open house in Williamsburg for anyone who wants to go. But shall we plan to, in the future, schedule a tour of West Hampton, just, again, after, I don't think we want to do anything before town meeting, but just to go and learn about prefab buildings as much as we can.
I mean, totally agree, because the person that brought it up to me so many times said, why don't you at least go visit one? So I think we should fulfill that and hear input from the people that are working in those buildings.
Why not schedule West Hampton now? I mean,
Oh,
not to
fine.
do it now, but schedule it. plan for it.
And I can reach out to
Yeah,
the
see if they're
person who
available, if we had
offered
a couple of
it.
possible dates or something. Because you got the spring into Southampton, you got Memorial Day, you got graduations, you got, people are busy, so figure out some timing that would work.
Would we want to go during a scheduled meeting? Would we want to do it at 4 o'clock on a Monday afternoon?
That's a good idea, in lieu of one of these meetings.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Okay.
So, let's set our next meeting, but maybe not for that purpose, but our next, when do we want our next meeting to be?
And what are we doing at the next meeting?
Well, obviously we want to have it after the town meeting to find out what happens there.
That would be the 13th.
The 13th.
May 13th.
Sure.
Does that work for everybody?
Yes.
Okay.
And hopefully by then we'll have the flyer, the mailer.
Yes, we should have it by then. Hopefully we'll have HKT's response. I'd also like on that agenda just to figure out how, I want to discuss some of the other feasibility studies that seem to be getting published, that there's a disparity in costs. I think maybe we should discuss and figure out, maybe in conjunction with HKT's response to that.
Yeah, I think it would be good, I mean, some of the things that you've learned about Lee or whoever it was,
Mhm.
right? And I think, and we'd also been told to maybe think about visiting Ware.
Right, where, because they're partially prefab.
Correct.
Yes.
Charlie, I didn't have a chance to look at your email today, but you sent out Lennox, which was, do you want to say a little something about that?
No, I gave it to the two chairs, and I was instructed by the committee that I shouldn't bring things up unless the chairs do, and I don't have anything in front of me to talk to.
Okay, and as I say, I was working, you were working today.
Yeah, I didn't have a lot of
Yeah.
seat time today, so I didn't get a chance to look at any specifics of it, but Charlie had made mention of, it looks like Lennox, which is again, very similar size to Southampton there's a complex, whether there was a feasibility study or not, but it's, again, the costs are significantly less than
Yeah,
ours.
but we don't have any,
That's what I mean, I don't have any,
we don't have any information.
I don't.
That would be just hard cost, right?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it's the whole cost, simply because that was part of the bidding.
I don't know, I'd have to look
See,
at it.
there's not nearly enough
Well, that's the
information.
reason I didn't bring
Right,
it up.
right,
It's
no.
because
We don't have
So
information.
once we have some other information, like on Lee or Ware or whatever.
Right,
I mean, I don't think we want to let go of HKT until we talk to them about
yes,
this, right?
yes.
I mean,
And that's the email that I was instructed
Yeah.
to send out to them.
Right.
I'm just waiting in a response. They did say in the response to my email, they acknowledged it and said we have to look into as to our cost estimators. There might be reasons such as, was it based on net square footage? So they're looking into it, but it might take a little bit more time. They wouldn't be able to do it overnight, basically what they said.
The other thing that I'm curious about is that Janet and Amy have referred to the new energy code. Scott, do you know if that's actually easy to access, and would it be easy for the layperson to decipher? They've said that triple glazed windows are now mandated, and EV ready and PV ready. I know triple glazed windows are hugely expensive, and they're actually also in short supply. So it would be interesting to make sure with whoever else we're comparing it to, that we're actually comparing apples to apples. And I don't know, I'd like to just ascertain that triple glazed windows and EV ready are in force now.
I think that's July 1, if I remember right.
Do a little research.
That would be great. That would just help us to know, and then to know whether, like, Lee's costs were based on the new energy codes.
Yeah, Lee was PV ready. It was going to be, for electric vehicles, they were going to provide the infrastructure, but not actually put them in. Basically, what HKT did.
And do you know about the triple glazed?
I wasn't able to find out that information on
Yeah.
the windows.
That might be something that Ron Lauren might be, it might be a quick question to Ron Lauren, our building inspector too.
But that would just be for municipal buildings that that new code would be for.
Oh, just for municipal buildings, not for
Well,
private?
You can't mandate people to put in triple glazed windows into their homes. I don't think if they can't afford
Well,
it.
they mandate the isolation.
Yeah.
Yes, you can.
Insulation,
You said you
Whether or not
can.
you can use gas or.
For new
You can-
construction.
They did that in the
Really?
stretch code.
God. The-
There's a mass panic with the builders right now trying to get building permits before that new code kicks in, and that's for private homes.
Is that right?
Yeah. I'll be right back.
Two vacuum chambers to give out. Yikes.
Okay.
So Scott's going to research more about this. That's great.
But, so that would be, to my mind, we'd have to have that information too, as to whether all that stuff has been spec'd out, and, similarly to what we've been spec'd out.
I'm hoping that that's what HKT
Is looking
delivers
into,
us.
yeah.
They give us that information, you know. But
I would be very interested to know why a town that's slightly smaller than ours too would feel that they need 10,000 more square feet than what we have.
in their rendering, they had an extra garage bay. Fire department, their garage bay was bigger, but they also, that may have something to do with, they have taller buildings in Lee than in Southampton. I believe they have, in the center of Lee, there might be 5 or 6 story buildings, where here we only have 3-story buildings. So maybe they have bigger apparatuses. I don't know. I'm not, there might be a reason for it. I'm just speculating.
But that's something that you would ask when you're speaking to the
They may have a
department.
ladder truck.
Yeah, yeah. All right.
So May 13th is the next meeting, is that 4 or 4:30? 5:30?
4:30 is good for me.
Okay.
May 13th. And, what did you want? Did you want something added to the agenda?
I just wanted to be able to discuss the disparities between the feasibility studies. We have an open discussion about that.
But we'll have to get more info. We'll have to be sure to have.
Yeah, hopefully within 2 weeks, HAT will give us something.
And you're just, at this point, referring to Southampton versus Lee.
Right. And I'll look into Lennox as well, but just, I just want to figure out where, I mean, the price disparity is significant, and I want to just figure out where that's from, or what's it coming from.
Well, hopefully HKT will clarify it and you'll just be able to
Right.
report to us.
I'm hoping that's the
I
case.
don't know if we know how long ago where was done. Is that relatively new?
I think,
About 10 years ago.
yeah.
Yeah, so that's really germane to our situation.
So if it is like
Pre-COVID.
multiple building material, that's.
We have
Yeah.
we have a guy in our department that works for Ware Fire,
Oh, well,
so I
you
can
give
quiz
us some-
him.
Yep.
I know the old one used to be right up on the street. I haven't seen the new one.
But this apparently has got a sort of the brick facade, and then behind it is really a prefab type building.
Hmm.
So, the
Yeah.
former chief from East Hampton spoke quite
Yeah,
highly of
Chief
it.
Mater.
Yeah.
If I remember right, they got a federal grant for a lot of that one. And
I
where?
think Lennox is
Yeah.
that way too. Part of it's prefab. That's what I picked up from the plans that the notes on the plans.
All right.
That's it?
A motion to
I'll move to adjourn.
second, anybody?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
This government meeting is brought to you by Eastworks and our local cable subscribers.